Hello, everyone, and welcome to another series of the Core's Masterclasses. We're excited today to be chatting with, or Tim chatting with us. Tim is an expert in building and growing funnels. I mean, you may have the greatest product in the world. You don't have a funnel to convert, then it's pointless, really. And while we all kind of can appreciate that, what Tim has been engaged in over the years is staying at the cutting edge because, strategies become stale after a while. And how do you keep your funnel fresh? How do you keep track of consumer trends and what would convert and what wouldn't convert? And now with the advent of AI co-pilots helping us do everything, things are also shaping up quite differently. So Tim will share with us some thoughts and some ideas around leveraging and harnessing the power of AI as it is today, because, maybe in a month, 2 months time, things will be different as well. So that's why we love talking to Tim. And, he's always at the forefront of what works when it comes to marketing, digital funnels, and sales. So, Tim, great seeing you again, my friend. I understand it's a little bit hot in Bodrum this morning, but the floor is yours. Thank you for being with us.
Dr. Yazan, thank you so much. And I think Dr. Yazan missed my last masterclass because I think funnels are dead. It's all about growth loops. But absolutely, we tackled funnels last masterclass. This masterclass, as Dr. Yazan mentioned, we're going to talk a lot about growth with AI and how you can supercharge your business. It's a pleasure to be here. As Dr. Yazan said, yeah, I've been a growth consultant for, I don't even know anymore. When Growth Hacker was cool, I was at the forefront of growth hacking, and then I think it wasn't as cool because hacking is not sustainable. So then I became a growth consultant. I've helped about 25 plus startups grow until today. As a consultant, I'm an advisory board of a bunch of startups as well. I'm the CEO right now of Task Drive, and also the CEO of a new venture that's maybe you've not heard last time, called AIoperator.com. So if you go to AIoperator.com, what we're doing is actually we are starting an AI service, right? So this is why I'm very excited to be able to actually give this talk, this masterclass, right at the time of soft launching our AI operator business, right? And I'll talk about it later about AI operator because it can help any startup, any business, any company, and enterprises as well. So super excited to be here. You're going to hear a lot of ChatGPT, right? I hope you all know ChatGPT. Is there anybody that doesn't know ChatGPT? If you don't know ChatGPT, raise your hand. Yeah, okay. I'm glad that everybody knows ChatGPT because, if you've seen me on LinkedIn a little bit, I do a lot of webinars around ChatGPT. I call ChatGPT my best friend. People laugh at me. They think that I'm a nerd with no friends. I have a lot of friends, to be honest. I love socializing. I'm very extroverted. But ChatGPT has been a really good friend on the times where I am super focused and working on one thing, where I don't want to just talk to friends or to colleagues, but I want to get work done. When I want to get work done, ChatGPT's always been there. If you follow me on LinkedIn, you'll also see that I make a lot of posts lately about how to use ChatGPT, tips, tricks, plugins, and things like that. I've heard a lot of negative about ChatGPT around. Those people that I think says negative stuff is the people that do not know how to use ChatGPT. Because if you do know ChatGPT, your work of a task that would take you 4 hours goes down to 20 minutes. A task that would take you 4 days goes down to 4 hours. And I have done that myself, creating processes, documentation, marketing campaigns, email sequences, anything that you can imagine in your business that you're doing, you can actually get some help from ChatGPT. Even coding. I don't code anymore. I coded for a while, but I really want to get back into coding because, before you needed 10 engineers to build something. Now you need one. because if that one engineer has Copilot or has ChatGPT or similar tools, you'll be able to build like 10 engineers at the same time. So it's a very exciting time, 2023. We just closed half of the year. So congrats to everybody who has a business and has survived the first half of this year. It's a tough year. There is absolutely a recession out there. But I have a surprise for you guys. The ones who uses ChatGPT AI to grow their business are the ones who are going to survive and are going to thrive and not just survive. Right. So you should think about it like that. One thing that I love is to see faces. So if you're around and you have not your camera on, but your internet is good, please do turn it on, because I have you all on the side. I can see the beautiful faces here and the smiles and the excitement, and it really gives me a great energy. So if you can, it's awesome. I get to really know you much better as well. But let me kick it off, because we have about an hour and 20 minutes now, and I want to leave some time for Q&A. I also have some surprises, hopefully, where we can actually it's a masterclass, but it's going to be a little bit different than what I do usually, because I really want you to see the power of ChatGPT and the magic of it. Right. So maybe some of the tasks that we're going to show, some of the things that I'm going to show, I might switch my screen share and we might do it live together. I hope that's okay for everybody. Yeah, I think Sahar was quite excited there. I saw her face. She went, oh, okay, that's good. Yeah, so my last webinar had 1,400 people. And I had so many messages after that asking for my prompts and how I use ChatGPT. So I'm gonna help you guys really get the most out of ChatGPT. But we also have a deep dive session that Nadine will announce later. I think it's in a month's time or something like that. And that we're gonna deep dive together on ChatGPT prompts, engineering, and stuff like that. And I'm very excited about that. But today it's going to be a masterclass and an overview of all of it. But I want you to get the most value possible, because I think that's why Dr. Yazan always invites me to these masterclasses, so I can give you the most value possible. Awesome. Let me stop talking on that intro and let's kick it off. So supercharge your business growth with AI with myself, Tim. There we go. All right. So I've said it already, I'm a growth consultant at heart still, even if I'm a CEO of these companies. I'm absolutely obsessed with ChatGPT, as you've understood, and all AI tools out there, right? I'll put my email addresses there, but you can also book a coaching session if you go and ask Nadine. But you can also email me for any questions. It might take me some time to answer, as Nadine can confirm that, but I will answer it at some point. Okay. I sadly don't have an assistant. Soon ChatGPT is going to do all my emails and I can answer everybody right on time. Okay. I'm building something. Stay tuned. Cool. So first of all, the agenda, we're going to go over the definition and the brief history. I'm not going to really tackle the history of AI, but I put that there. If you do have questions, we can talk about it. I think the more important is we're going to talk about the different types of AI. And then the explanation of generative AI, because that's actually what we're talking about mainly, right? Today, AI is all about generative AI, which is your ChatGPT and all that. It's generative AI and some examples. We're going to have an overview of AI tools and techniques for business growth. I think I'm going to get into more techniques, because I think my main tool is ChatGPT. Now with the plugins, I think ChatGPT is stronger than any AI tool out there, almost. And then we're going to really dive into content creation, to customer service, coding, and spreadsheets. Okay, because these are really the places that if you are more productive, you're going to have increased growth, right? Because we're talking here about revenue, retention, growth, and content creation, customer service. Coding, I'm not a coder, as I said, but spreadsheets, I hate spreadsheets. I don't know if you love spreadsheets, but I hate them. So, but now I like them, because I ask ChatGPT stuff and it just gives me the formulas and it tells me how to build the sheet. So it's just magic. Then some case studies of successful AI-driven business growth, some big examples from a couple of years ago that are really at the forefront today. We're going to look very quickly at steps to create an AI-enhanced growth strategy. But again, that's going to be really covered on the deep dive session around a month or so. And then the future of AI in business. Okay. So let's kick it off. So what is AI, right? This presentation, I have a little bit more text on my slides. Usually I don't like text on slides, but there's a lot that I'd like to later have for you guys to have. What is AI? It's very basic, right? It's computer systems that can perform tasks, right? That normally requires human intelligence. This is why it's called artificial intelligence and it's not human. There are some great examples: visual perception, speech recognition, decision making, language translation, right? AI can help us in all of that. AI today, it has really the potential to transform businesses in every industry, and healthcare, finance, retail, SaaS, in any industry that I've seen today, there is AI, right? And or the ones who has AI are the ones that are driving the businesses forward and are driving the industry forward. If a company today doesn't have some type of AI strategy, they have a very big risk of losing to a competitor that will have an AI strategy. Okay. And when we say AI strategy here, I want to make sure that we're talking about the business side of AI, not the technological coding side, not putting AI in your product, but you doing your day-to-day tasks with AI, right, with the help of ChatGPT and similar tools, to be more productive and to really grow your business. Okay. And we're going to explore now the different types of AI. So I'm sure you've heard this, and I put a lot of text here, so don't worry about it. You can read this later. I'll just skim through the important stuff. So there is 3 types, right? The narrow AI, the general AI, and the super intelligent AI. Luckily, the super intelligent AI is still not here, right? We've had some teasers from Google, one AI that went sentient and stuff like that. It's not actually that true. We're still not there. And I think that that's going to take a lot of time still. There's a lot of research going on and so on, but I don't think we're there. I might be mistaken. Something secret might be in the background from Tesla or things like that. But I don't think so. So a narrow AI, right? It's designed to perform a single task, okay? And usually it's very, very industry specific. I worked in an AI company, when you think about it, about 6-7 years ago, and we were doing computer vision. We were recognizing images, image recognition, tagging images of real estate, automatically categorizing them. That's very narrow AI, right? Because it does one single task, recognizes images, tags images, and so on. Right, so as it says here, efficiency is trained to perform specific tasks with high accuracy and efficiency. We had at restb.ai, which still exists, you can check out their website, we had about 98.5% accuracy on recognizing rooms, hardwood floors, ceilings, window types, and stuff like that, which back in the time was huge. It was incredible. A person would look at an image, and until you tag it, going to take you a minute. We were doing that under seconds, under a second. Great examples that we all know, I think, are things like virtual assistants, Siri, Alexa, or performing functions like playing music or providing weather updates, right? These are very, very narrow. They do a single task. You ask it, what's the weather like today? In Bodrum, I can tell you it's very hot. Okay, I don't need AI for that. Absolutely not, because I'm sweating. The contrast, which you're going to see the difference from, I think, narrow to general, is that which is designed to handle any intellectual task a human can do. Okay, so general is a little bit more on the human side, and it can kind of do multiple different tasks and not just a very specific industry specific task specific one single action. Okay. And that's kind of why we're speaking. ChatGPT is in the middle of narrow and general because it's generative. So it's going a bit more in general, but it's also quite narrow because it's all about text-based at the moment, right? So it's all about text. So general AI, quickly, it's capable of handling intellectual tasks that human can do. As we mentioned, we're not at the forefront of general AI yet, okay, but we're getting there. We're absolutely getting there. That's happening today. It's really aimed at replicating the human intelligence, and our cognitive abilities like decision making and weighing pros and cons and stuff like that. And obviously it's doing this from historical data, but why is it called generative? We'll see, but it's it generates new things from the learnings. Okay. It's not like the AI that we used to know a long time ago, or the narrow AI, which again, here's an image, tag the image. It can't do anything else. It can't tell you if the image is like not at the right place, or if the lighting is bad, if you haven't trained it on, right? But generative AI, you don't have to train it on new things because it has data and it trains itself, okay, which we're going to look at. Okay, so here, you know, theoretical at this stage, as no fully functional general AI exists yet. That's correct. But I think that, as I mentioned, the combination of narrow to a little bit of general is where ChatGPT is sitting. Okay. It's really different from narrow. It's not a single task. Okay. Let's look at super intelligent. I'm not going to get into it too much because, you know, this is really aimed at surpassing human cognitive abilities in all aspects. Doesn't exist yet. Whew. You know, you can take a breath. It doesn't exist. Okay. It's not out there. It's not available to us, even if it exists. You know, maybe it's in Mars, you know, with SpaceX, maybe they're testing it there. But it's not here today. I mean, the theory, it's incredible, but that's where we should be really scared. And this is why Sam Altman from OpenAI was in front of the US Senate and stuff and being like, please control us. Right. I think that all these big AI companies are begging to actually be controlled by some type of government body because it's going very fast. I mean, I'm sure you guys have seen a few weeks ago or a month and a half ago, we had 1 week where AI just boomed. You know, Microsoft launched something, Google just launched something, everybody launched something. And it's just like, oh my God, where are we going at? You know, I'm sure you all heard about the hockey stick growth, right? And that's where AI is at the moment. We were like this on narrow, and now we're just like on that urge, and now it's just gonna go like this. So get ready, put on your seatbelts, you know, but be the driver and don't be the passenger, because if you're the passenger, you know, you're gonna be the one that is surpassed by AI, surpassed. Your jobs will be lost if you are the one not driving it. I think Yazan Al Qasim has a question already. So
Yes, hi.
Yes, hello.
I just have a question with regard to the AI in general. I have this feeling that the AI concept that is happening nowadays is going to be more like the internet bubble back in the early 2000s,
100%.
because like a lot of companies are claiming that our solutions are based on AI and things like that. But at the end of the day, if you look at their core technology stack, you'll find that, yeah, they have huge data sets and they're just cross-matching or using third-party platform or third-party tools or widgets to do the extraction or the processing. So I would like to know more about it from your side, or what's your opinion about that?
Well, I think Yazan, thank you very much. I think one thing that you said, and I'm going to underline and repeat, is that, you know, there was pre-internet and then there is post-internet world. We're at the post-internet world. There was a pre-AI world and there's a post-AI world. And the effect of AI is going to be greater than the internet. That's 100%. But Yazan, you're right. It's all about data sets and you know, plugins and so on, reading the data sets, making sense of it. But one thing that is happening is that data set is already available on internet. So the training today, we train these machines, okay? But soon these machines won't have to be trained by us. They will train themselves, and it's happening already in a very, very, very small scale. But very soon, GPT-5, they say, or GPT-6 or so, it's just going to train itself. It can find all the data in the internet as long as it has access to it, and it can train itself. Some say that it can even go offline because we can actually run some type of neural network engines inside our computer without internet. Right. So if that's happening, there's a very big chance that it will be able to put itself offline and even gather data that is offline. Okay. And data that is offline is very difficult to think about it today, but is 100% going to happen. And just to add something to that, Yazan, you know, maybe I think your question was amazing, and what you're saying, maybe go watch Yuval Noah Harari, the author of Sapiens. He has an amazing very scary speech on YouTube. If you write Yuval Noah Harari AI, I think it's the Future Forum that he's speaking about, a Future Forum or something like that. Please do watch that, Yazan, because I think that's going to really open up your eyes. This is the thought is, you know, today. Yes, Yazan, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just I also would like to add something that just as you speak crossed my mind. Again, if you look at the implementations of Web 3.0
Yeah.
or the blockchain, you remember like a few years ago, it was like the biggest thing happening in the world. But at the end of the day, what kind of implementations has been done using this kind of technologies? And the startups or the companies that claimed they're using and working on it, no one hears about them anymore, right?
Yeah, that's a really good one. Blockchain was definitely a big trend, and you know, the people that you know, jumped on the blockchain train did a little bit of a growth, right, because of the coolness and the trend and the VCs and stuff like that. But I think you're 100% right. It just fizzled down, right? The blockchain, but there are some cool things, Yazan, that had happened from blockchain. Online banking and certain things has gone really much better thanks to the blockchain. Obviously we had all the crypto stuff and all that, which did that as well, and it's going to keep doing that, you know. I believe that it's not dead and it's coming back, and then it dies down, it's coming back, you know. But when you look at AI, it's definitely not the same trend, right? Because every company in the world is bringing AI, right? Yeah, you know, we can think from Netflix already had it to Spotify has it for a while, but now you have Intercom, you know, launched with GPT-4 before even we knew about GPT-4. You know, every company you hear out there is getting some type of AI features, right? So it's not like the blockchain. The blockchain was a few companies built some stuff on the blockchain, but all existing enterprises and big companies are getting some type of AI features. You know, so it's definitely not just a trend, it's something that we need to follow. That's 100%, because it's productivity, you know. Dr. Yazan.
Yeah, I'd just like to comment that, you know, technology, we've been seeing technology follow Moore's law for the past couple of decades, where everything is getting better. But AI is a step function. As you said, the impact is going to be much wider than the pre versus post internet. And the reason for that is a couple of things. One, it's recursive technology. It's self-recursive technology. It's technology that can make itself better. So you've got software that's building better hardware, that's enhancing the underlying substrate, and then that software is building better software and learning at rates that are exponential. And this technology can be applied to literally everything. So it's a step function, and that's why there's a lot of hype. I see Yazan's comment, and I see that you know, you need to cut through the noise and cut through the hype when somebody says we use AI. Like, look at their technology stack and do a tech due diligence to really vet what that means, because everybody's going to tell you we use AI now, even if they use like a little stupid widget, you know, online. They're going to say we're AI enabled. So just wanted to make sure that people understand that this is not, AI is not a difference in degree. It's not just better technology. It's a difference in kind. So we just wanted to make that comment.
Dr. Yazan said it really, really well. So thank you very much for jumping on there. And, you know, absolutely, it's all about, I think it's exponential. And, you know, if you know, was this Salim Ismail Exponential Organizations? You know, I do recommend, they have a new book, Exponential Organization 2.0. And it's, you know, it's very AI. Before they were talking about, you know, IoT, blockchain, this, that, but now it's just pure AI, because AI can do a lot. And as Dr. Yazan said, you know, it trains itself, it will develop itself. If it's developing itself, you know, it will slowly take us out of the equation of advancement and of growth. And that's what a lot of people are scared, right? Because that it can take itself to different levels that we never imagined. So that's AI. But just going back, you know, one thing that does scare me, and I think it should scare everybody, but we should not be just, you know, scared and not do anything about it. We should be scared, maybe a little bit, but learn it and understand how to regulate it, how to control it, and how to tame it like a wild lion almost, you know. Dr. Yuval Noah Harari says, think about religion. Religion is a language, right? It's a book, right? That was written. Yeah, it was written as words, as things that we believe, right? But think that religions can now be built by AI on its own. AI can actually create its own religion. it can create its own cult, and it can actually speak to billions of people at the same time. That's scary, right? So when you think about that level, that's where humanity is a little bit scared, and we should be. I'm not as smart as Dr. Yazan here or Dr. Yuval Noah Harari, so please do speak to Dr. Yazan or to watch the Dr. Yuval Noah Harari, because it blew my mind, you know, and I think that I really recommend everybody to watch that, to listen to it very carefully, and to put it in the back of your head as a little seed, so that it grows as you see things developing. And, you know, and as I mentioned, I'm just going to go back to that. Don't be the passenger, be the driver, you know, because if you're the driver, you'll have more chance to control it and to take it to the places that you want. If you're the passenger, you're just going to follow, right? Same thing as leaders and followers. Yes, Dr. Yazan.
No, Tim, I just use some intelligent big words sometimes. Doesn't make me any smarter than anybody else.
But they are very intelligent words, you know. Ooh, nice words there. Yeah, my language is a bit more simpler. But what I mean is that, you know, I know, Dr. Yazan, you have some projects around that as well, and you're studying a lot this space. You know, I really look at the practicality and the output. You know, I don't really study all these technologies. I just want to use them. That's kind of where I'm at. You know, I want to get growth out of them, as I'm a growth consultant. You know, how can I grow a business? How can I grow myself? And how can I grow other people's businesses? Thank you so much, Nadine. I think that Nadine put that on the chat. So yeah, that's the YouTube video on the chat, and it's really good. So super intelligent AI, we're not there yet. We're really focusing on general AI today. Narrow, I think we got it under control. We're covering that really well. We're looking at general. Okay, so generative AI, we kind of said it, but let's go back. It's a type of AI that uses neural networks, right, to generate new original content. Okay. The examples, you know, we've seen it from Mind Journey, you know, like the create art, paintings. It can even do some kind of 3D sculptures now. You know, I'm a sound engineer, as I think you can see some instruments around me. You know, I was a sound engineer. I am a sound engineer by trade, but I don't do it often anymore, sadly. But I'm digging into generating music with AI. And it's really getting good, and it's amazing. So you don't even have writer's block or creative block when you're making music anymore. Cool. So what we're going to look at today, I said tools here, but there's so many tools, but ChatGPT is my favorite, as I mentioned. Content creation, customer service, coding, and spreadsheets. And why did I put spreadsheets there, as I mentioned? Because I hate them. I absolutely hate spreadsheets. It's really something that I've never liked in my life. And as a CEO, I should like them, right? As a COO before, I should have liked them. I never liked them. But today I'm a bit better with it. I made amends with it because of ChatGPT. But the content creation is going to be somewhere we're really going to dig, because it's very enabled today. Everybody on this call can now go and create a bunch of content, and really good content if you use it smartly. Very good content with ChatGPT and similar tools. Customer service, you know, I always said it. There is not one customer, right, that wants to wait for an answer for 24 hours, 48 hours, right? They want the answer right away. When I ask a question, I want the response. Yeah. People that say, oh yeah, my customers are patient, they'll wait, you know, I'll get back to you in 24 hours. No customer wants that, right? In their back of their head, they ask a question, they want the answer, because they'll ask the question somewhere else. They'll ask a competitor. If they get a good answer, automatically they'll go buy the other product, or they'll subscribe to the other service, right? So customer service is very important. And funny enough, we had a go at this a few years ago with chatbots, if you guys remember, and I think it failed miserably. It failed miserably. Why? Because it was all about decision tree. You know, it was if this yes, if this no, go here. And it didn't understand anything. So, you know, how many times I went like, oh, it doesn't get me. Talk to human, talk to human, talk to human. And you, human, please connect me to a human. And you get really angry at the chatbot. and then it's like, come on, man. You know, you're a chatbot, you should be answering. But no, chatbots were really miserable at the time. But now with GPT 3.5, GPT 4, with generative AI, chatbots are getting really good. I've had somebody the other day had a conversation on LinkedIn with a person. The person was not a person. It was actually a fake profile with generative AI in the back, and it was having full conversations until booking a meeting. This is crazy. That's happening now. All right, so be careful who you're talking to sometimes. You know, it can chat to you. It can chat to you until you book that meeting. You know, and then the person actually said, "Oh, that person you chat to, it was not real. It was a bot that we built, and this is what we built for businesses." And then the person was like, "Oh my god, mind blown." They came to me. They said, "Tim, do you know this?" I was like, "Oh, let me check it out." It was really ridiculous. Coding is coding. I think it's ones and zeros, right? Zeros and ones and stuff. So it's very doable with generative AI. And again, you know, I wouldn't hire 2 or 3 developers that has no AI skills of using ChatGPT or things like that. I would hire 1, because I know their output is going to be better than those 3. Yeah, the one that uses this type of tools like Copilot is very good. Okay, cool. So AI in content creation, you know, I have a lot of text so that when it's shared, it's a little bit better than just me talking on it. So, you know, articles, reports, other documents, and so on, we're going to look at them. As I mentioned, I have my ChatGPT open here. I have a bunch of prompts that we can also look at, look into it. I'd love you to get the most value out of this possible. So let's go through this a little bit. I'm not going to read everything, but just, you know, content creation. And again, I have a lot of bullet points here, and they're long, and it's a different presentation today than my last slides that was on Canva. This is actually made also with an AI tool called Gamma. I love Gamma, by the way, so check it out. Okay, and what I have did this because this becomes a link, it becomes like a mini website, and then I can give you these mini websites, and you can go through the content and have it at your hands. Okay, so, you know, one thing about writing for ChatGPT, quick tips. Not going to read them, but, you know, be clear and concise. I'm sure you've heard this often. A lot of people that doesn't like ChatGPT are not very clear. They're not concise. You know, refine your prompts. You know, 6 months ago, how I was prompting ChatGPT and today is very different. You know, I'm much more blunt, but very detailed and very specific. You know, I guide it to what I want. Before I was like, "Oh, can you do this for me?" And it would say yes, and it was crap. You know, and now I say, "Can you do this? That is for this person that would do this and that." And then this is an example of the output and stuff like that. And then I really get really good results. Yeah. You know, use formatting, use writing tones. You know, people forget because you get really crap results. But then I have my own tone, which, if I'm not mistaken, let me double check. It's my own tone that I feed to. It's friendly, fun, and direct. You know, every time I feed it, I say friendly, fun, and direct. And I know that then it's much closer to my tone of writing. You know, target audience, 100%. Who you're writing this for? I'm writing this for another CEO or for a partner, and so on. That really works really well. So I have a guide also on my website that will share. I'll put some other stuff where you can use customer archetypes, however you want to say, you know, fictional characters, you know, like your personas. Actually, you can feed your personas into ChatGPT so that it does create content for those personas. Okay. And when we do marketing with ChatGPT, people don't think about that. But if you have your persona, you know, have it always ready to copy and paste. Say, this is my persona that I'm targeting, and it will get much better. Okay. Yeah. And here, as I said, you know, make sure to tell it the output type. Is it a newsletter, text message, a case study, a report? You know, give it some examples. I usually give it examples. You know, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. There is one thing of anything you want available on the internet that is great. Copy that and feed that as an example if you're looking for something similar. Okay. Is this going to switch now, please? Yeah, because I went to the other screen. Here we go. So blog posts, you know, please do not create a blog post just with AI and publish it. You know, to be honest, Google had said it. It said that it doesn't really penalize AI or not AI. It checks if the content is valuable, if it's conversational, and if people are reading it. Right. So that's a really good news. One thing that I do whenever I write something with ChatGPT is that I have Grammarly Premium, and I think it's very well worth it. Then I feed it to my Grammarly, and I always fix a few things with Grammarly, because Grammarly will shorten some sentences, make it much more human, and so on. And then you realize it's not written by ChatGPT. And I do that on my email. I do that on my messages on Google Chat, on Slack, because I have my Grammarly always available there, right? So that's a little hack that I do, is always ChatGPT and Grammarly, and it works wonders. To be honest, works wonders. So you can create blog posts for SEO ranking. I've seen people that has built websites that are just generative AI articles, and they're performing really well. They do some type of like fashion websites of what's the latest men's fashion trends and stuff like that. That's all done with ChatGPT and tools like that. And the guy is making a lot of money, and it's doable. I've seen it. I don't recommend it, especially for your businesses, but use it to draft an outline and more. Okay. So you can also now, with the plugins, I love it, you can identify really keywords. You can actually search the internet now, so you can really use it to create your SEO strategy. Right. I do believe SEO is going to be one of the things that is going to be the most affected by this, because SEO people are very, very expensive experts, but ChatGPT is not that expensive, and plugins are not expensive. So you can all do SEO now, right? Blog post ideas, I use it a lot for ideas, which we can look at. As I mentioned, the outlines and so on. One thing that I really loved is FAQs. Now, every article, you write an article, feed the article to ChatGPT and say, can you create me an FAQ section of 10 FAQs? It will create the questions, and then you can tell it to create the answers. And then in every article at the bottom, you can have an FAQ section, right? So look at all your articles that you have out there, go feed it and create some FAQs and put the FAQs. Trust me, you're going to rank better. You're going to rank much better, right? Because people will be asking those questions. And if they have the answers available for them, longer reading time, that's what Google likes, right? And then people are going to like you more because you're answering their questions. So yeah, some AI detectors. I'm sure you've seen it. There is Quillbot. There's a bunch of different tools that will do AI detection. Don't really think about that. Think about outputting something of good quality first, right? That's what's important. Okay. Yeah, I put some little tips for you guys when you have the page available for you so that you can read it yourselves. Copywriting, again, I'm not going to dig too much into it because I do want to do some magic together today. But you can use it. This is one thing I love, all the writing frameworks like ADA, which is attention, interest, desire, action. Actually, there's IDA, so there's an I missing there. You can use all these frameworks. PASS, which is problem, agitate, solution. You can structure all your content like that. You can tell ChatGPT to use these frameworks, and it will magically use it, right? Before 10 years ago, these frameworks was in a book, and we would learn it as marketeer, and we're like, well, how am I going to use this? And so now you don't. You just say, hey, I have this. Can you turn it into this? And it'll just do it, and it's just really magic. This was really something cool as well. ChatGPT knows a lot about very famous copywriters, so you can ask it to act like these copywriters, right? And it will change the output as these copywriters. I do have a list of all the copywriters that ChatGPT can actually mimic. It's again on my website that I would love to share later. I'm still building some of these stuff, so soon, before the deep dive session, hopefully you'll have everything available for you completely free. Cool. Let me see if I'm missing something very important I want to tackle, because the rest I know that you guys can read it yourselves. Yeah, that's about it on copywriting. So here, though, this is really good, and people forget about this. When you're doing a website, before it took us, I think, a week or 2 weeks to create a website. The other day I created a website in 2 hours, a full website. with the legal documents, with the privacy policy, with the terms and conditions, everything. In about 2 hours, I had a great website. No joke. I was testing this on a weekend because, you know, that's my weekend fun. When my baby's asleep, I'm like, oh, ChatGPT, come, let's do some tasks together. So website content creation, headlines, taglines, copy, calls to actions. It's really good. It's really, really good. I love it. And you don't have to rely on a content creator for this anymore. It's good to have a content creator or a copywriter, because I'm glad my wife is not next to me. Usually her office is next to me. She's a copywriter for Notion. And when I told her that I can do this, she got really upset. You know, she's like, oh, it's not going to take my job and stuff. I was like, it's not going to take your job because you're better than that. But at least now I can do these things on my own without waiting for you, you know, without making you a coffee and be like, hey, honey, can you please help me? No, I don't have to do that anymore. I can go, hey, ChatGPT, do this for me now. And it does it. You know, I don't have to be sweet to it neither. In the beginning, I was like, please, ChatGPT, thank you, ChatGPT. I don't do that anymore, which maybe is not good because, you know, the day that it takes over, it's going to remember who was polite to it and who wasn't polite to it, you know. But anyway, that's a different topic. Mosquito's going to bite me soon. Copy editing, you know, I'm not a really good writer at all. You know, I speak 4 languages and I speak them all a little bit, you know. None of them is perfect, sadly. But ChatGPT really helps me make it much better. You know, if you have a text and you think is really good, why don't you just make another version of it and test it, you know? And this, again, very easy. Legal documents, I hate legal documents. You can do legal documents. It will always tell you, you know, this is not a legally binding document. Please go to a lawyer and stuff like that. Yes, sure. But the privacy policy, usually it's easy to tackle. There's a lot of templates, you know, and ChatGPT knows about all of them. Upselling ideas, this was really good. So you have a service, you have a product, you have something, and you don't know what to upsell. Actually, there are some amazing prompts. I just say, this is my product, this is how much I charge, this is my persona, you know. Give me some upsell ideas or cross-sell ideas, and believe me, it gives you some great stuff, you know, things that you've never imagined, and it'll just give you those ideas. Okay. Website design, there's a Framer. If you haven't tried Framer, Framer, I actually created another website in 5 to 10 minutes. You know, it just did it for me. You just write a prompt. So you say, this is my website, this is what it is for, include these, you click it, it does the whole design and the whole copy, and then you have a website. Is it picture perfect? Of course not. But you know, then spend an hour and you have a website again, right? So that's getting even shorter time to have these websites. Headlines, subtitles, easy stuff. Product descriptions. If you have an e-commerce, you have a lot of products, it's annoying to create product descriptions. You can create it like this with ChatGPT. Website scraping, this is really good. I do this a lot, and I'll show you. If I'm targeting someone, you know, like let's say one of your businesses, right? What I'll do is I'll just copy all, like I'll select all of your website or your homepage. I'll copy it and I'll paste it on ChatGPT, and I'll say, I'm targeting these people, write me a message. Or sometimes some websites are not very easily understandable. I just select all, I copy it, I paste it, and I say, please summarize this website for me. You know, tell me what this website about. Tell me what they're selling. And tell me what's their unique selling point and stuff. And it's really good at that. It's really, really good at that. I mentioned FAQs, you know, but please do that for your websites. If you don't have an FAQ, very easy to do that with ChatGPT today. So if you don't have an FAQ next session, I want everybody to have an FAQ. Okay, because it's just so easy, and it's very, very important in my opinion. Legal documents, did I write it twice? Because it's so important. I think that I write it twice. Yeah, you see, it's so important. I wrote it twice, but this one is a little bit different. ChatGPT for SEO. I'm going to talk about that in a bit. Pop-up text and stuff. This is just for your imagination, for your creativity stuff. Lead magnets. Who has a lead magnets on their website? Anybody have a lead magnet on their website? Raise your hands. You don't have a lead magnet? Oh my God. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. All right. Next session. Everybody has a lead magnet on their website. Okay. Very simple. Okay. You can do this so easy. All right. So you can do, you know, checklists, ebooks, white papers, reports. Very easy to do, you know, and put on your website. Downloadable lead magnet, you know, great stuff. You know, you can attract targeted leads. Yazan, yes. Yazan?
Yeah, with regard to the lead magnet, do you consider the blogs part of the e-magnet if the lead magnet, if it's, let's say, argumental or encouraging people to participate somehow, or if we put the CTA to submit a form inside the blog?
Yes, I mean the CTA to submit a form usually is for a newsletter on your art in your blog, I think, so that you can update people. A lead magnet really is going to be more like 2022 insights or 2023 reports about my industry. Download now. Here's a checklist for sales. If you're targeting salespeople. So it's a little bit more, I think, specific because your blog is going to have a lot of different things. You'd create also a landing page usually for a lead magnet, right? That is pure that. And sometimes you can, not sometimes, most of the times, what you can also do is you can just promote your lead magnet on its own, right? So you don't have to sell anything. You just promote your lead magnet, okay? And then people go and submit a form on your landing page for your lead magnet. I hope that makes sense.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense. Thank you.
And
we can do the lead magnet on ChatGPT itself in creating, say, the ebooks.
Yeah, absolutely.
Interesting.
Yeah. Go today, have an idea. Say, this is my business. This is the people I'm targeting. I want some ideas for lead magnets. It's going to give you loads of ideas, and then say, okay, I love your ebook ideas. Can you give me 20 more of ebook ideas? It'll give you 20 ebook ideas and be like, oh, I love this one. Say, can you give me an outline for this? And it'll give you an outline, and then you can open up each part of the outline and then say, okay, let's work on this part of the outline, and it'll work. And then say, okay, but I want to add some data that I found, or I want to add something about my business. And in about an hour of chatting to ChatGPT, right, you'll have the output. You'll have an ebook.
I've been using it a lot for the blogs.
Yeah.
And an SEO compatible, so it made my easier. And at the end of the day, I asked the SEO and the content writer to leave the company, basically. GPT.
Well, that's not fair because your content copywriter should be using ChatGPT so it can become 5 copyrights.
Yeah, it makes sense. But up to this minute, I'm very satisfied with the results of ChatGPT for the content and the SEO.
What I would do, I would give a chance to your content writer, copywriter. I would say, hey, you have 1 month to learn ChatGPT, and if you have the output of 1 article a week, I want you to have 3 articles a week. And if he or she would achieve that, I would still keep them at the job.
Yeah, it makes sense as well.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Thank you.
This is why people are scared of their jobs, but I don't think people should be scared. I think people that do not use these tools should be scared. People that use these tools should not be scared of their jobs. One thing that I forgot to say in this meeting and in this masterclass, and I say it in every webinar, is ChatGPT is not there to do a task for you. Yeah, let that soak in it for a second. It's not there to make a task for you, to complete a task for you. It's there for you to have a meeting together to finalize something. Yeah. So have a meeting with ChatGPT. Don't go to ChatGPT and say, do this for me. No, say, hey, ChatGPT, let's do this. This is what I'm thinking. And then it tells you, oh, that's good, but let's do this. Let's do that. Let's bring it a bit here. Here's an example I found. It's your brainstorming partner. It's your productivity partner. It's your assistant. Okay. It's not there to run on its own. And this is what people forget. And then they're like, oh, I don't like ChatGPT. Those people, I'm like, yeah, I don't like you neither, because my best friend, you can't speak bad about my best friend. I protect my best friend. That's something else. So yeah, I gave some examples, but you can have giveaways. I create all my webinars agenda with ChatGPT now, obviously. You can do video series. Email courses is huge at the moment, and everybody has an email course, and the email courses are great. Your newsletters, quizzes, anything you can do. You guys can go through this on your own. Let me see if anything. Yeah, that's for lead magnets and stuff like that. Okay, you can go through this on your own. Not very, very valuable when I'm speaking about it, because you can read it and get the value on your own. But you know, emails and letters. The other night, which was a couple months ago, if you guys remember, ChatGPT was down, and I was just about to go to bed, and I was going to send this email, a very important email, to a potential client or something like that. And ChatGPT was down, and I couldn't go to sleep. And my wife said, "Can you remove the laptop from the bed, you know, and go to sleep?" I was like, "No, I can't." She's like, "Why?" I'm like, "Because I can't send this email out." And she's like, "Why can't you send this email out?" "Because ChatGPT is down." And she's like, "Have you not sent emails before ChatGPT?" I'm like, "Yeah, 100%." But it's just at the end of every email, I just put it to ChatGPT and I say, make it better, or make it this, or, you know, is this good? You know, so I started relying too much on it, and it was down. And I was like, oh no, I can't send this email. I did eventually send the email, of course. But you know, it did frustrate me for a second because I was relying too much on it. And my wife's like, don't do that. But yeah, so emails are very good with ChatGPT. They're incredible. It makes it better than I can even imagine, and then I can write the email. I create a lot of templates and snippets with ChatGPT so that I can have them readily available for answering clients, for you know, as a CEO, even if we have 50 people at Task Drive, I do a lot of the sales myself. I do a lot of the marketing because I like to do these things, obviously. You know, I'm not a micromanager, but I love to help and have ideas and give some drafts to people. And ChatGPT helps me a lot. And a lot of people tell me, "Wow, you're so productive." I'm like, well, yeah, thanks to ChatGPT. It's not me. So your email marketing strategies and stuff like that, great stuff. Any type of confirmation emails, shipping notifications, product recommendations. If you're an e-com, it's huge, 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 huge. Cart abandonment if you're on e-com, huge, 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 huge. You know, letters. Who writes letters? But sometimes you have to write legal letters. The other day, my dad was mind blown because he kept seeing me like a lot on my computer. He's like, "What do you do? What do you do?" I'm like, "These hours, work is finished, you know, put your laptop away, be with your family." I'm like, "No, I'm busy." And he's like, "What?" I'm like, "I'm with AI, you know, speaking in Turkish and stuff." And then we had this legal paper that I had to write letter to the government, to the health government, to put my daughter's name under my health stuff and all that. And I'm really bad at Turkish. I've not lived in Turkey for 21 years. I just moved here. So I asked my dad to write it. He wrote something. It was okay, you know, and I was like, okay, cool, thanks, Dad. So I went 5 minutes and I said it in Turkish to ChatGPT. I said, "This is what I'm trying to achieve. Can you write me a legal letter for this ministry and for this department?" It wrote me an incredibly well Turkish official letter. And then I showed to my dad. I sent to my dad. He's like, "Oh my God, who wrote this?" I'm like, "Well, it's the AI." He's like, "What?" I'm like, "Yeah, it was under 2 minutes." He was mind blown. He now tells every of his friends, he's like, "Tim wrote a Turkish letter that was better than my Turkish," you know, and a 65-year-old Turkish man who was a businessman who wrote a lot of letters, you know, and AI just blew his mind off, you know. So even in your languages and stuff, you know, it does any type of language at the moment. I think it does any type of alphabets as well, if I'm not mistaken. I haven't tried it, but you should try it. I have been using ChatGPT with English and wondering if the quality of output in Arabic. Yes, that's what I'm wondering as well, Dara. I would test it out. It was amazing in Turkish. It's good in French. I don't know how it is. I don't know how it is. That's okay. You know, be safe on the bus. I hope you don't. You're not driving the bus. So you know, try it in Arabic. I bet you're gonna. Yeah, she's not driving the bus. Awesome. So try it, please, and get back to us because I believe it's gonna be good. You know, if it has it available, that means it's good, right? Cool. So that's letters for you. You know, emails and letters. Social media. Oh man, you know, I love social media because it's very important. If you see my LinkedIn, I have close to 13K followers. I did that without AI. And I wrote the stuff and it was difficult and stuff. Now that there is AI, I have 2 weeks worth of social media content always ready, right? Still my own thoughts. I don't say it, you know, just write me something. I say, hey, I'm thinking of this is what I want to share. Here are some of the bullet points. You know, this is what I think about it. And I'll just write me an amazing draft. And then I'll say, okay, here, Grammarly, tweak these, make it a bit more my tone. So now in about 30 minutes, I can really hash out a week worth of content, 5 days of LinkedIn posts. And that's mind blowing, right? Before it was 30 minutes for one post. Now it's 30 minutes for 5 posts. So do use it. Okay. You can, again, don't forget, you can always feed your product, service details, tone and style, and the target, that you're targeting, and it's going to get much better. LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, it does all of the stuff. For TikTok, I love it as well, because I don't use TikTok, but I tried it a bit. And you can even create a whole script so that it says, take 2-second video of you looking at the screen and you're not doing this and you're doing that. And it really does create that. And it's just really good. It's really good. Try it out and then use, social media management tools that you guys are aware of to put it out there. So SEO, I never, as a marketeer, I was a marketeer for 15 plus years, by the way, before all this CEO, COO stuff. That's why I love marketing. I didn't like SEO. It was too technical. I didn't understand it. And I'm sure that a lot of you are like, oh, SEO, search engine optimization. I know it, but it's crazy. It's, it's very, very difficult. But now it's not that difficult, because you can, all this stuff, you can do it like SEO friendly content, as I think Yazan said it. You can do snippets, but you can also do things like, the techniques of visibility, attracting traffic, but also featured snippets, so you can actually ask it to write code for you that brings rich results. Yeah. So you have a page or a guide, and you're like, okay, how can I rank this in the rich results? The rich result is the how-to. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it comes from one company and it ranks the best because it has this how-to and stuff like that. These are rich results. And that's a little bit of a code on the back end for SEO purposes. And ChatGPT can do that for you. I've never thought I could do that myself. I always thought I needed an SEO expert that was going to charge me £5,000 back then, and now I do it for $20 a month, right? With ChatGPT Plus. So that's really mind blowing. And anything meta titles, descriptions, making sure that it fits 150 characters, blah, 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 all that stuff. If you just say it, it does it. If you're not doing this today, after this call, you should all go do this type of stuff, because I think you're gonna enjoy it a lot. And if you don't enjoy it, come to me, okay? And get angry at ChatGPT if you want, but then I'm gonna convince you that it's gonna be your friend. Yeah, you just have to know how to speak to it. Cool. Okay, so that's in content creation. I want to give some examples in a second, so I'm going a bit faster, as I mentioned, but you'll have all this stuff for you. Customer service. I've said it earlier. You're sleeping and a customer asks a question. Nobody wants to wait for you to wake up to answer the question. Okay, so you can actually have ChatGPT answer all the questions live. So these chatbots now are really good, and they're not just for that, but if a customer wants an appointment, they want to track an order, and so on, it can really free up customer service representatives to handle more complex tasks. Please don't do like Yazan. Don't fire all your customer service people now, okay? Because make sure your customer service people are using the tool and they have the assistant, okay? And they'll get much better. Okay.
That's the thing for customer service. That's the thing.
Yeah, but don't fire anybody. Yeah.
Sure. I won't.
Okay, I'm scared for people's jobs now. Okay. Sahar said Arabic is a bit weak, but it's improving. Okay, so I guess English obviously is very good, and Turkish I was very, very happy with it, but I think Arabic is a little bit more complex because they're not used to this type of data sets and language, so that might take a little bit more time. Booking appointments and stuff, I said that, but don't just think about a customer service. You can think about the lead generation. You can think about somebody comes to your website, ask a question. If you don't have the FAQ yet, it can ask to a chatbot that is with generative AI, not just a silly chatbot. It can talk and then book the appointment, right? And we've seen some great, crazy examples about this. Okay, so customer support, very quick areas that it can really help you with. Anything for, this is what I do myself, email support by generating quality responses to customer queries. Before I had one client complain the other day And usually we don't like, I think we have 98% success rate with our clients. We had one client that got really upset. We messed up, and I knew that we messed up. So the account manager was like, "Oh, I don't know what to say." I said, "Don't worry, I'll handle it." I wrote, the client had this email that was really, tough kind of thing to absorb. I put it on ChatGPT. I said, "This is this customer. This is what happened. This is what they said. I want to tackle it in a friendly manner. I want to accept all our mistakes. I want to provide solution. No. These are my solutions," and stuff like that. And it wrote something amazing that I don't think anybody could have wrote it in our company or myself. And the customer jumped on a call with me and was, I thank you so much for your reply, and I'm happy that you guys are taking this seriously. And the customer went for a couple of months, came back. Right. So it really does help a lot on that side of things. If you do get a lot of social media questions, Facebook and stuff, you can build really good, cool chatbots that we can look into it on the deep dive. Okay. And it can answer questions live in real time while you're sleeping. Okay. And everybody says making money while you sleep is very important. So you could have a ChatGPT kind of bot actually providing you leads or talking to your leads while you're sleeping. So in the morning you wake up, you have a bunch of meetings booked. So how great would that be, right? And that's happening. There's a lot of people doing that. And with AI Operator, that's what we want to provide to our customers. Cool. Any like help articles, knowledge-based articles? If you don't have a knowledge base for your product, if your product is technical, documentation is very important, and ChatGPT can help you a lot with that. I've been using ChatGPT a lot for this, not just for customer service agents, but to train anyone in my company. I'm like, hey, here was our old training material for our SDRs, for our sales development representatives. I want to revamp it. I want to have the latest and greatest and And I find out there a few other resources from other really cool companies. I provide to ChatGPT. I say, here was my training, updated. And it creates amazing training programs, I've even created some prompts that actually, when somebody onboards in our company now, I give them the prompt and they just chat to ChatGPT to train themselves. And it just trains them, and that's really good. We had trained the trainer and trainers and stuff. Now we have ChatGPT doing that job, and sadly, Yazan, I did let go some people because of that myself.
Sorry, Tim, you're using AirPim or something else as a ChatGPT version?
Yeah, I have AI PRM.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So I have ChatGPT Plus, and I use GPT-4 when is as the limits is small, and then I have AI PRM on top, which I'm going to show in a second. You're going to see my AI PRM.
Did you notice that 4 is almost the similar as 3.5? I think that 3.5 sometimes with regard to the response is better. So we're paying fees for a better version, but we're getting worse results, right?
Funny enough, I mean, I'd love to show you if I can. Let's see. Last night in bed, I was exactly reading this. I think I closed it, but I was exactly reading all the complaints about GPT-4 and why we're paying for it and stuff. That was exactly my last night's research, because it started to piss me off a little bit as well. And I was like, the output is not as good. But then also somebody said something that was very interesting. It said, yeah, and I think that I should close. Can you close that door there somewhere? Okay, 1 second, guys. Sorry. In the back is my guest bedroom, and someone's in my guest bedroom. Sorry about that. So I'm making sure that it's off. So just going back to that, GPT-4 it's not the quality that is going down. It's I think that because we give it feedback as well, and it's becoming a bit more human, and we don't give the best feedback. Sometimes we say positive, we say negative, we say all this type of stuff. That's number one. And number two, what's happening is that it's our perception, Yazan. It's our perception. We got so used to GPT-4 that was mind-blowing in the beginning, you know, and we're like, we expect more from it. So it's really a human perception thing, in my opinion. And obviously
because we're paying them.
Because we're paying the
We're
$20,
paying
to be honest, you know, my business partner and I were saying, like, if it charged me $250, I'd still pay it. The value of it is incredible. I'm sorry, but how, you know, when I think of my hour, I charge 250 euros an hour, right? Okay. And ChatGPT, a work that I would do in 4 hours, I do it in 20 to 30 minutes or 40 minutes, let's say. I've saved 3 hours. I've saved 750 euros already.
Yeah, I agree. It helps a lot in reducing the time and the effort you need to spend, you or your team. So I completely agree on that. But 4 is with even with the minimum amount that we're paying for them, still, like, I'm comparing it to something that I'm getting for free, the 3.5.
Yeah,
it's all the same result.
I see what you mean. I see what you mean. And I agree with you. But you know what? I love the tool so much that I'll pay even more if they wanted it, because it really changed my life, you know, and because the value in general is there, and I do want them to make money so they can build better GPT-5 and stuff like that. So I am a supporter. You know, I'm absolutely a supporter, and I think $20, it's very, very cheap for what it is. Yeah, here you go. Right, you have tools like Jasper AI or whatever that you pay like 150. It has, you know, limitations. Is it as good? No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. It's nice to see Rizek here as well. Hello, Rizek. Nice to see you, buddy. Yeah. Hello, nice to see you. Looking smart. Awesome. So you know, anything on your customer support, okay, I really suggest tackling it with ChatGPT. Okay. You know, here a few more examples. You know, if you're want to answer something and you're not sure, but you have a documentation, you can actually ask it to read the documentation and give you the exact answer. Stuff like that is really good. And I told you about the complaint response, right? That was, I think, one of the best examples that I had in customer support. It was just so good, and the customer was so happy. And even when we had the meeting with the customer, before the meeting with the customer, I also used ChatGPT to prepare me for the meeting. And then I showed up to the meeting all prepared. It was just mind-blowing. And to be honest, any meeting now, 5-10 minutes before, I write to ChatGPT. It creates me an agenda. I say, create some questions that I need to ask. It creates the questions, right? And most of the time, I even have it open in front of, you know, on the side when I'm in the meeting. And if somebody has a question, I can just ask it, you know, and I have already, with AI PRM now, you can have your profile. So each time if I click include my profile, it knows who I am and it knows the relevant information, which I'll show you in a second. So I know we've been talking a lot, and Yazan, thank you so much for the amazing questions and the discussion here, because I think it's very important. But I do want to show you the stuff. So let me speed up a little bit. So chatbots, we said it. You know, chatbots were not cool at all. We tried this before. It really didn't work out. You know, the decision tree chatbots were awful, but the GPT powered chatbots are incredibly beneficial. You know, so you'll read all this stuff. Here we go. AI encoding. I'm not a coder, but I'd like to code again, as I mentioned, because I used to code and it was difficult. I learned it, but now, you know, you could generate code, you could find errors, and now that's what I do a lot. You know, if there's an error in something, I just take the error. When it tells me the error, I put it on ChatGPT. I say, what's this error? And it tells me what the error is about and how to fix it most of the time. Summarize codes. Here's a code. I don't know what it does. Put it in there. What will this do? I'll tell you what it will do. It's mind-blowing. Code translation, you can change it from one language to one language, you know, JavaScript to Python, Python to Ruby, and stuff like that. So for tech founders, important. But for non-tech founders, now you can act like a tech founder. That's mind-blowing. Okay, so you might not need a CTO. Don't fire your CTO. I'm joking, right? But you know what I mean. Code documentation, very, very good. You know, put the whole code documented. Learning to code, it can teach you how to code. This is mind-blowing. I learned coding with Code Academy, but now you can do it with ChatGPT. Brainstorming, on functionalities and software projects. So if you already have a software that does XYZ and you don't know what to build next, ChatGPT can help you in that. Okay. So try all that stuff out. AI in spreadsheets, as I mentioned, I don't like spreadsheets. Now I'm okay with them because I can actually ask for formulas. I use a lot of Google Sheets at work. So I'll ask, hey, I want to achieve this. I don't know how to achieve that, but the number is in A5 and this is in A6 and this is in here. You know, give me a formula. And it doesn't just give you the formula. It tells you step by step what to do with the formula. It says, well, take this formula, put it on here, and then click on here and do this and do that. And here's the output. That's incredible when you think about it. It's incredible. Your finance, your CFO that was with complex spreadsheets, and you were like, oh man, how do you build these spreadsheets? Because that's how I was when I was CEO at Cards Guru. I was like, oh man, you have some amazing spreadsheets. How do you do these? Now you can actually do them yourself. You know, so again, great stuff. Also this now data analysis, you can actually give it a lot of numbers and you can ask it to do things with the plugins. This is just mind-blowing. There's data analysis with plugins, you know, graph generation with plugins. You know, here's all my data, compare this, give me a XY chart that is going to do this. It does it. It does it. It really does it. You know, if you have the right plugin, it even gives you the screenshot. Learning key. Oh, this is really good. Keyboard shortcuts. Hey, I don't know how to do this. You know, before we used to go on the help, you know, or Google it. I don't Google things. Like my Googling has gone really low now. You know, everything I do, most of it is on ChatGPT now. Spreadsheet features, you know, freezing rows, columns, deleting sheets. I mean, renaming and that's easy stuff. It can explain you, but also you can actually start automating this, by the way. Zapier, there's a Zapier plugin with ChatGPT, and I've done this a few things. It can, you know, I can create a sheet from ChatGPT. I can say, hey, create me a sheet that is going to do this, and with Zapier, it goes to my Google Sheets, it creates it, and it fills the formulas and it fills the numbers. Come on, guys. Come on. You know, it takes you half day sometimes to create a good spreadsheet. Now it takes me 30 minutes. Again, you know, return on investment, time. And I have more time to do creative work. Cool. So other uses of AI, just a bit more on industries. You know, it's just an image that I took obviously from the internet. But, you know, and entertainment, we've seen that a lot. And real estate, we're starting to see that. And it's really, really interesting for real estate. Retail and e-commerce, we've had it in e-commerce, but it was a bit more secret. Now it's becoming very obvious that there is AI behind it. Travel always had a little bit of it as well, but now I think it's been very, very personalized. Banking and financial services, they're getting there as well with this, with AI in the back, especially with fraud detection. I've seen that a lot. Stripe does that really well. Manufacturing had it for a long time. Some cool manufacturing companies. Food and tech, I think. So that's absolutely healthcare. I think this is one of the most important parts for AI. You know, doctors would miss, you know, you've had a bad night and you're looking at the scan and you miss the tumor, you know, but AI gets it the 98% accuracy, 99% accuracy, you know. So, but is it going to change the doctor's job? Is the doctor going to be jobless? No. It's just the doctor is going to be more efficient, right? So always see that like that, you know. Don't do like Yazan and I, and don't fire people, okay? You know, you help them, you know, use them, okay? How AI enhances user experiences. Absolutely, you can read this, you know, but of course, customer satisfaction comes, you know, higher customer means brand loyalty and ultimately more revenue. You know, we're going to deep dive into these type of stuff very soon. Okay. So the user experience, really AI is there to improve your user, to enhance your user experience. Case studies quickly, you know, we're going to look at 3 of them before I hope I'm going to have 10 minutes to open up ChatGPT. Yes. Cool. So marketing automation, you know, we had Coca-Cola has been doing that for a long time. I put twice Netflix and twice Coca-Cola, so I'll fix those. Netflix has been really good at that. As you guys know, it recommends things, and that's with AI, with things you like and stuff. I didn't bring my favorite example, actually, Spotify. I've been paying Spotify for like 9 years now, 8 years, 9 years premium. And my Discover Weekly on Mondays is just mind blowing. The AI algorithm of Spotify knows me so well now, thanks to my data set. It just gives me the best music ever, ever. Yes, I'm here.
Hello, Tim.
Hello.
You said that you have worked at an image processing company.
Yes.
So basically, I assume that you're familiar with Clearview AI, right?
Yes, I think so, yes.
So basically, for those who don't know Clearview AI, it's an American facial recognition company, and they provide software to governments and law enforcement worldwide. But they find their most loyal customers here in the Middle East, especially in Qatar and UAE. So basically, they scrap images from social media. They have their independent servers for storage. For example, I do LinkedIn only. I have quit Facebook since 2016, I think. Okay. So even after I had deleted my account, you can go to Clearview AI servers and find my, I think, silly videos. I used to record myself playing piano back then. So I have a question for you. Can you guess what business sector in the Middle East has exploited such service other than governments and law enforcement?
Yeah, I would say private security, maybe. I would go into that. And I think that even there must be something with gas and oil as well.
Well, yes, but also PR firms. So let's say that you want to take down an opponent, so celebrities, politicians, their families, whatever. So basically you pay a PR company and they dig for silly or sometimes inappropriate content, and they generate the backlash indirectly, of course, via troll farms overseas to avoid local jurisdictions. So
yeah, well, we saw that in the election in Turkey as well, right? There was so many like videos and blackmails and stuff like that that came out, and they were all fake. They were all deep fakes and stuff like that. And you know, sadly, even presidents hire AI firms to do this type of stuff, and hackers to do this type of stuff. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen more and more. This is why Sam Altman, you know, said, "Please regulate us." You know, and I think that every country should have a regulatory body to make sure that we don't get such fake news. You know, the stock market went down that morning that they saw the picture of the Pentagon being bombed. The Pentagon wasn't bombed. You know, it was just an image that was created with AI. You know, you can do it with Photoshop, and now Photoshop has AI as well. And the stock market went down. So if you're smart, you create that, you put it out there, you buy the stocks when they're down, they go back up, you're rich. You know, and people are doing this, by the way, you know, so and I'm not saying go do this, you know, this is recorded in the stream, so don't do that, but you know, it's possible. Okay, do not try this at home, right? Is that I should put a disclaimer. Nadine, can you put a disclaimer on the bottom? You know, do not try this at home. Uses of AI in personal shopping, we've seen that Amazon does that really well. Stitch Fix is very interesting. I'll leave this here, I'll fix some of the wordings. Healthcare, IBM Watson, you know, this has been going on for a while. Zebra Medical Vision, again, medical images, and you know, the early diseases that I mentioned, the cancers, the stuff like that. It's mind-blowing, and the doctors and the hospitals that are using this are much more efficient, and they're saving many more lives, you know, so this is mind-blowing stuff. We're gonna look at very quickly, just take notes, or you know, prepare. If you're coming to the deep dive session, come prepared, define your goals, analyze your data, select your AI tools, train your team, and implement and optimize. Okay, these are the things that we're going to do really on the deep dive session, and we're going to have some really good AI enhanced growth strategy to get out with. Okay, cool. The future of AI in business, you know, it's going to be enabling predictive analytics, which we have. Predictive analytics is not really good yet. It's going to unlock new innovation and growth, which is doing already. But also, again, you know, we're going to have most websites are going to be personalized for us very soon. You know, so when I go in the website and Amir goes in the website, we're going to have two different experiences, because my experience is going to be different. Amir's experience is going to be different, because it's personalized to us. That's going to be really mind blowing. So a very quick overview, you know, automate your repetitive tasks, you know, provide valuable insights based on data analysis, as we spoke about it, improve customer experience through personalization. Okay, these are AI for business growth, but the importance of AI, it can really save you time and money. And this is why, as we were saying to Yazdan here, the $20 a month, I'll pay more. You know, it saved me so much time and money that I'm mind blown. it really does help me make a better decisions as well, right? Because what I do is I have like a board. So I talk to this board that I have on ChatGPT, you know, and it has Steve Jobs and it has all these people in it, you know, and I'm like, oh, this is what I'm going to do. What do you recommend? And they all recommend something different. And then I'll weigh my decision and I'll make a decision according to that, which is incredible. You know, before you couldn't tackle this. And obviously it's going to create a lot of new opportunities for growth and innovation. Okay. Cool. We should do a Q&A quickly. If not, I'm going to show a couple of my prompts. Maha.
Hello, Tim. First of all, thank you so much for the amazing session. I know about, can you hear me?
Yes, yes, absolutely.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, yes, we can hear you. Can you hear us?
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I can. Well, just wanted to thank you for the session. And I did know about ChatGPT, but definitely not in the mind opener items that you mentioned. My question here, is there any more tutorials or training or courses that will allow us to use it in a better way and efficient, or just date ChatGPT to know how to do all the stuff that you mentioned?
Yeah, great question. And thank you very much. I enjoy this type of thing when people enjoy. If I can bring value, that makes me happy. And that's why I'm here. There are some type of ChatGPT training out there. I've done a bunch of them. Do I recommend them? Not all. Are they good? They're okay for really, really beginners. But one thing that I would suggest, one, is to follow me on LinkedIn. I share a lot of stuff. I have a newsletter, okay, that you can find on my LinkedIn on the feature section called the Growth Letter. And I talk a lot about ChatGPT plugins. I think Nadine is going to put the link. I can see her getting ready already. So follow that link. Follow me. It's a free newsletter, comes every Wednesday. So in a couple hours, I should start tackling my newsletter so I can send it to you guys. And in that newsletter, I usually have a lot of ChatGPT, but other growth related subjects. And Maha, why I'm not recommending other courses, I'll be honest with you, because I've had this request so much that I am creating a course for you. Yeah. Okay. And I'm going to create a free version of the course as well, that you can all go through it. And I'll be announcing this in a couple of weeks on my newsletter. Yeah, but also you can, I think the best way to learn ChatGPT, and that's how I learned it, is to create a new chat on ChatGPT and ask to do the thing, and then be like, oh, this is not good. Why is not good? Because you didn't give the relevant information. You didn't give an example and stuff like that, right? Do we have any other questions? Think about your questions in the meantime, and I'm going to open up my ChatGPT very quickly because we don't have much time, and I want to show you some stuff. Obviously, here you can see all my chats. You know, I have email delivered Israel. I even have the AI-powered growth masterclass. This ChatGPT helped me a lot to prepare this course, of course, right? And I do this all the time now for every meeting and stuff like that, you know. But what I wanted to show you, instead of really using ChatGPT, I want to show you a little bit of good prompts, okay? So as I think Yazan said here, AI PRM, or he called it iPrem. iPrem is AI PRM. AI PRM is a Chrome extension that is lovely. Is by Christoph. Christoph is a really good guy. You know, they have basically this is something that you don't have on your ChatGPT. You just have this, and you don't have this whole section. And they have public prompts that are available for you, right? With the top voting ones, you know, Outrank article and stuff. I can see these prompts because I'm a premium member, and you can see really what's in the back of the prompt and how the prompt is created. Okay, and they're really long, amazing, nice prompts. But I'm not going to look at other people's prompt for you guys, but I'm going to show you one or two prompts that I have that are getting really popular. So, because I have public prompts available. If you're on AI PRM, you'll find my proven LinkedIn bio framework. Okay. I've had 8.6 thousand use of my prompt. Okay. That many people has used it. Sadly, only 75 of that 8,000 gave it a like, but it's difficult to give it a like. Okay. But at least I have that. I'll show you that prompt because it's what I was mentioning earlier. Okay. So this prompt, okay, I say to ChatGPT to act as something, first of all, right? And I tell it what I want it to do, right? Then I give it a framework. I give it a framework. I want to use a hook to draw the attention and establish relevance. I want to paint a picture of the target audience's pain points. I want to amplify the pain. I want to present a solution that addresses the pain points. I want to present the benefits of the solution, addressing common objections, and provoking a call to action. Today, Nadine just shared my LinkedIn. Go to my About section. You'll see that it's created with this prompt, okay? And a lot of people are using this prompt to create their LinkedIn bio. When you come to AI PRM, you can use also my prompt for your LinkedIn bios. But if you do need anything else, please do also message me. I'll be more than happy to help you if I have a prompt already. If not, at aioperator.com, this is what we're doing for customers. You know, and what I've done is, as you can see here, then I say, here's an example of a great LinkedIn bio. It was somebody else's bio that it was really good, that was going through that framework, you know, asking a question to paint the picture, the pain point, and then the solution to the pain point, you know, what it is, and so on. Okay. It was somebody else's, and then I changed it to mine, and then I put it in here so that when you guys, you know, you can even see Al Hussein Technical University in here, right? And so on. So at the end of this prompt, after the example, okay, let me show you. I say, you know, I am A, and then the prompt is, what is your profession? So you'll say, I'm a CEO of blah, blah, blah. And now I say, now ask these questions one by one. Ask the first question and then let me answer. Then ask me the second question, then ask me the third question. And I say this because sometimes it makes mistakes. So the more I say this, the more it understands. And then it is supposed to ask me these questions one by one, okay? And the idea is, as it asks me these questions, I'm having this meeting with ChatGPT. So I'm not telling ChatGPT, create me a LinkedIn bio, right? 90% of people that use ChatGPT today says, create me a LinkedIn bio, I'm this. And then they're like, oh, this is crap, I'll have to go to a copywriter. But with giving a framework, giving the questions, giving an example, and tell it to ask me an answer, I'm actually having a meeting, and I'm actually directing the ChatGPT itself to create me that LinkedIn bio that I have envisioned already, but I don't know how to put it together. Does that make sense? Yeah. So that's what I'm saying with a good prompt. In the deep dive session, you know, come with some ideas that you want prompts. We will create prompts together. These are all my prompts, and I'll go very quickly. You know, some of the prompts that I love that I have here. You know, LinkedIn bio, I did it for a bit of commercial use so that people can use it, and at the end, it promotes me. It promotes my LinkedIn. The sales pitch is a really good one. This is very good because I can take a URL that I like, and I feed the URL, and it creates me a smart LinkedIn post. Okay, and then I have automatically a LinkedIn post. Okay, this is just mind blowing. This is also very good on problematic area solver. This asks me, what's the problem area that you have in your company? I say it, then it says, you know, what are the solutions that you think? And it can also give me some examples, and together we can solve problems in my business. That's really a brainstorming partner, a strategy partner. This, I think a lot of people wants this. So I'll on the deep dive session, I'll give you guys this. This is just amazing because this actually is a prompt iterator. So I say what the prompt is, and then it asks me questions, and it makes the prompt better, and it revises it. And each time it gives me a better prompt, and it goes on forever until the prompt is amazing, and it keeps going. So you have to stop at some point, take the prompt, then go to a new chat and get that job done. Okay, this is really good. People love this one when I show them. This, I love it. You know, if I find a great article of a tactique, you know, of a technique of something or strategy, if I find a LinkedIn post that is really good about something that somebody said they did something somehow, I put it here, I put the URL here, and it creates me a step-by-step actionable guide. And that becomes a process and a system in my company today. Yeah. Content idea, sales sequence, these are easy stuff. My newsletter assistant is what I'm going to use in a couple hours. My newsletter assistant, it asks me all my questions, okay, that in my framework of my newsletter. Okay, so it'll go and it'll ask me, you know, which tool should I share this week? Which article will I share? What I'm going to say about this and stuff. And then I give it a good example of my newsletter from before. Okay, so it knows the example. Okay, and then I again say, please ask me. Let's find out. 1 second. This is the one post. This is the whole newsletter still. The one tool. Here we go. And then, you know, now let's start creating my newsletter with you asking me about each of the sections. Ask me about the items in my newsletter first. After we finish writing about those items, you can provide me with the subject, today at a glance and TLDR sections. But first, ask me by one for the items: personal news, article, post, media, tool. And after, bring me subject today at a glance and TLDR. And so I spend about an hour with this prompt, with the ChatGPT, and then at the end of hour, I have a newsletter. My newsletter, I've had really good feedback about my newsletter. So please do come in and you tell me feedback. If you don't like it, tell me why you don't like it, how I can make it better, because I'd love to make it better every day. That's about it. Deep dive session. We're gonna prompt engineer together, have your use cases. I'll be more than happy to tackle that with you guys. That was me. Whoa.
Thank you so much, Tim, and thank you everyone for attending. I just sent the training assessment for if you guys can take a couple seconds to just fill that out, and see you soon, Tim.
Thank you very much, guys. I'm looking forward to the deep dive as well. If you want to really deep dive and create prompts for you and you use ChatGPT at its best, there we're gonna be very, 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 very hands-on. Yeah.
Fantastic. Looking forward.